bro.
Yeah,
Yo,
you
man.
interrupted the party, my G. I was losing my.
I see you rocking, man.
Uh,
That shit was
yeah. What up, man? It's been a minute.
peace, God, Happy New Year and
Happy
all that.
New Year. I mean, grateful to have made it. I guess I don't know. It's kind of yeah.
Wow, man.
It's all
Shit.
good. Grateful, and I'm glad to have you here. Glad to be rocking again. And yeah, man, I'm excited about this
Yeah,
topic. So,
hey, man. Blessings to everybody, man. And I apologize. I didn't even know about these updates and shit.
oh, that's all right.
It's
That's
crazy
part.
as
That's
hell,
part
man.
of our. That's part of the show.
He'll tell you the phone need update, the apps need updates. I am,
You
son.
got to update the update
Man,
and shit. It's
man,
like
fucking
when it
crazy.
works for me. It's like when it works, because I don't update until I have to. Like typically,
Exactly.
when it works. But for what we're doing though, we should actually do it regularly because they take away features and stuff. So, but that's all right. We're here. This is episode 24.
Yeah.
Conservation. What's up, Tamal and the legendary brother Jay, X-Clan, Flatbush, Brooklyn in the building. And
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
yes, so we do this show first Wednesday each and every month. We build on important topics in hip hop culture, life in general. All of our past episodes are on the Carrying the Culture YouTube channel. And this is a structured build. So, questions about his top five, this and that, like those are for another day. Well, so please keep your questions, comments, at least about the building. We can add them in and work it in and have a good discussion here. So
Word.
that's where we're gonna go. So today's topic, this is one that's kind of close to my heart, hip hop and media in 2023, and specifically looking at media outlets that claim to cover hip hop or cover hip hop, and we'll also look at media in general in hip hop if we have time. But wanted to look specifically at those that cover this or claim to cover this culture.
Right.
So we'll go there. And you ready to rock?
I'm ready to go, man. I like the topic, man. I've been waiting to build on this.
All right, good. So let's get it. So where I wanted to start was kind of what it was like. I mean, maybe your perspective on hip hop media back when you came out, when you guys dropped. I don't remember seeing a lot of X-Clan back in the day. I did some research and I saw a couple. I did see a couple, but not a lot. And so, what was your perspective and experience with the media back then? As far as covering hip hop and this how they were moving? What were you seeing? And what were you seeing back then?
Well, I mean, hip hop wasn't as the way that people self-proclaim themselves as journalists nowadays. There wasn't a lot of that. A lot of people that were writing for magazines were really like, I went to school for journalism. You feel what I'm saying? Now it's like the consumers feel like I've bought enough stuff that I can make a comment on it, and having a channel is free. So, they give their 2 cents. That's not necessarily media, it's feedback. But, for people, and not to say that school makes it or not, it's just that it should be a person that is fair and that has understanding of what they're writing about. So if it's somebody that's done hip hop before, you've been one of the elements before, and you have journalism. So most cats, if you're commenting on graffiti, you've done graffiti before, and you went to the journalism classes and whatnot to learn how to write correct, because you're writing for Hype magazines, Vibe magazine, this, that, and the other. So you got to have, the language on tuck. You just can't go up and whoop wop and kick it out. I think that's what's disturbing this thing with the media nowadays, because it's more like they wait for the drama side of artists to make them important, and they feel like you're a public figure, so you got to take some lashes in front of the people and whatnot to be relevant. And I don't remember media outlets really bashing on artists back in the days. It was a privilege to talk to artists and to get an inside scoop. So it wasn't like we have this person on and then you're running their whole crime record and all kinds of stuff, you know, like they do nowadays. And I just think that's kind of backwards. We, you know, when they come to entertain, however they got in the game is their business. We just here to critique the music. I think people have made it too personal. And we did have major press and stuff because we were on Island Records. So all of the bigger magazines, we had Source layouts several times. We had the cover of Source, and then we also had like a special inside thing where we were building on the black watch, moving them around. And then all the major outlets dealt with Island Records because that was a strong parent company at that time. You know, we were like 14 on the Billboard charts at one time. So, you know, we had a lot of press, but people were scared that we would do a Kanye or something, or like a Kyrie, I guess, you know, like, you know, to be unpredictable because of, you know, how strong we were for our culture and whatnot. So, but we always were, you know, had good etiquette when we build with people, man. We're not here to bash and whatnot. Our elders are powerful with that, but, you know, we weren't neutral on media. We always made it that we were here for the improvement of the Black existence first. You know what I'm saying? And media outlets made that like we were prejudiced. But, you know, it's nowadays now everybody's life matter and everything. So now it's a norm to care about Black folks, but there was a time that it wasn't. So that's the only thing media really misconstrued with us back in the days.
Oh yeah, well, thanks for answering the question. I was going to ask you if you felt how did you feel that they represented you properly, like coming out of interviews and things like that, or did you feel like that was some fuckery right there? But
well,
you know.
we had to control the narrative, man. I mean, when you do an interview, you can be a deer in headlights, or you can be the commander in, you know, of the ship and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if you let media just, you know, tell your story instead of, you know, putting down an interesting conversation that is, you know, that they can't other word, you know what I'm saying, then it's going to be a strong pass. But then you got some media people that are agents, bro. Some people that are, you know, that the agenda was, the seed was planted years and years ago, bro. You know what I'm saying, to get to this place. This is not a brand new thing. So there are people that are like agent media,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, that always, you know, put a negative word on whatever it is. So
absolutely. Now, I think you brought up an interesting point, though, because the fun thing about our show is that, you know, you're coming from the perspective of a conscious artist, Black nationalism for 40 plus years, and I'm coming from the perspective typically of a diehard fan, lover of all of this stuff, and just like, so you brought up a good point an interesting point when you said, you know, you think sometimes it gets a little too personal and stuff like that. And I agree with certain, we're going to get that a little bit as far as some of the loaded questions and things that come out. But from a fan perspective, man, like these things are huge, like as far as artist interaction or just knowing more about the artist. Now, obviously, the artist can share what he or she wants, and they don't have to share everything. But just wanted to point out that, like, for us, as and I was 12, 13, I was 11 when X-Clan came out, or 11, 13, 12 years old. So, like, at that time, you know, my man Plain Asia even said, he was like, yo, I thought Big Daddy Kane lived in the castle. That's what he said. Like, so
right.
it's always going to be important for the fan. I mean, that's to just know more. Who's Brother Jay? What's brother? You know, like what's, you know, or just whoever this is. So that relationship's always gonna be there to a certain extent.
Yeah, I mean, they did kind of deitize, you know, if you will, quote unquote, artists back then. You know, they put it on a Mount Olympus because, you know, if you can get out of your hood with your rhythmic poetry, dog, that was like getting a basketball deal. So you have a PR that's working with you to make it like Big Daddy Kane always got girls and gold and this and that because you're selling records. You know what I'm saying? So we did have a little bit of WWE type of vibration on hip hop back then. You know, everybody had like a different title, you know, the Funkin' lessons, the Slick Ricks, the this and that. It was personalities and stuff. So now, today, it's more personal. It's like, Todd James or, Bill this, everything is like no superhero, straight raw, to a point where people are all in your business more than you want. And I think that kind of backfires, dog. We're seeing a lot of stuff that we would just see the highlights in the media. But now cats are sitting in court like every word, and and walking I'm coming off the plane, look at my food, my dog's in the bag. You know what I'm saying? You walking with every element of the artist. So, the fan is allowed to be a fanatic, if you will. You feel what I'm saying? So media has a different agenda now. Like, come and get your fix from me. I got all the tea. I got, Janet Jackson walking out of the building and this and that. It's always been paparazzi, but now that everybody has a camera in their hand, bro, and the computer on their hip, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, it's extremes, right? You go from one level to the next. Now it's like, we all up in your shit, nigga. I can see what toothbrush you use, everything. Oh, like, and listen, I've done posts and shared stuff, like, deliberately just to see like what people peep, and people will be in the back of the fucking picture like, yo, that's a polo, whatever. I'm like, God damn, did you hear what the fuck I just said? Like, and I'm nobody, but I'm just saying, like, so the social media aspect has completely changed shit. And so let's fast forward then. Yeah. All right. So here's where we are now. And so now everybody's media. Hello, I'm media. Everybody and their mom is media. And there's tons of independent outlets, and there's still the mainstream media on their bullshit. But the independent outlets, quote unquote, in my eyes, that are about hip hop really aren't about shit but clicks and views and complete fuckery. World Star and whoever and this and that and this and that. And so let's get into that, because to me it's a double-edged sword. I think the artists are partially to blame for some of this shit too, and how they handle themselves. So that's what I wanted to get into, where we're at right now.
Yeah, I think that the game has changed now, bro, because virtual likes are valued more than sales, dog. You know what I'm saying? And I think that the commercial connection to sponsors as what really twisted the game. Sponsors used to be back behind the curtain in the VIP room, and now they're at the forefront, choosing who represents their products. And when you got something like a YouTube that has millions of people on board, and you throw them gangs of cash and you just let people go free, and you say, hey, you can be a channel too, that's going to change. You don't know what's real and what's not. You know what I'm saying? And this is where the journalism thing that I was speaking on earlier comes into play, because a journalist goes through that kind of light and dark side thing to find a balance, and says, I'm going to report what's right for the people to hear. That it's like a judge. Everybody can't be a judge and jury. You know what I'm saying? You got to have the right kind of mind state for that. So I think the education around a real journalist is something that keeps that balance of, I'm not going to go into Wendy Williams' life and dog her out with her husband. I'm going to speak on what we saw on TV. There's a problem. Her health had an issue, or whatever case may be. You know what I'm saying? So, hold on 1 second. The horn was ringing.
Okay.
But I think that social media kind of twisted backwards. You know what I'm saying? I think it kind of it forces people into a commercial state. I don't even think people who have these tea time shows even started wanting to do that. All right. At the end of the day, when you're in entertainment, you got to give the people what they want. Some people might have been like, hey, I'm just going to get on and spray my plants and make a pretty smile. And then somebody said, hey, you got to show some breasts. You got to show some ass. And now you make all of the female entities basically like Playboy. All right. And then for the male side of things, they got to have a problem with female existence to get hits and likes, or you're giving some kind of relationship advice and shit that they're not qualified to do. So people get caught into that vacuum. If we're talking about social media here, you know what I'm saying? So if you get adjusted to that savagery, that type of savage mental, dog, how can you offer anything outside of that? How you gonna have some, you know, how you gonna have somebody who eats meat, you know, profusely and just say, yo, man, cold turkey, it's time to get on some organic thought, or, you know, organic whatever case may be. You know, that's gonna be a problem.
Right.
This has been a 15-year, 20-year plus problem, bro.
But then my question to you is, though, because you said it, you got to give the people what they want. Aren't the people partially to blame because they want that shit? It's like watching the people back in whatever Rome, or watching like the gladiators fight to the death. They're just more blood, more blood, more blood. It's like, so the people want this shit. Like the people, like, and that's why I feel like the general populace, whatever, like they want the fuckery. They want the crate challenge. They want the Tide Pod shit. They want to see the fuckery. And as we've said before, so my page is mostly hip hop. And I try to put some inspiring stuff up once in a while. And I'm a wild dude sometimes, so I put some wild fuckery. And the fuckery gets shared, posted way more than our builds, and it's very disappointing. So,
that's correct, brother. That's
you know
correct. That's correct. Because you got to think this, you know, at one time, it just was a closed market. So labels kind of sheltered you from the weirdos that, you know, that was happening globally. They knew, you know what I'm saying? They knew when to shift the gear and say, yo, man, people want to hear more strip club music. People want to hear more club music or whatever it is. So, you know, so they created this market by way of seeing the global view. So now that we have the internet, it's a straight global view now of all of the weirdos that you never knew about. Now you're being witness to the real market now. You're not being witness to, yo, these dudes are powerful in New York and powerful in the US. Okay? When you were dealing with Mobb Deep, you know they were New York and hot pockets in the country and whatnot, and possibly overseas and all of that stuff. But now we're seeing the global effect. We're seeing when these artists go overseas, usually you just to hear about it. Now you can see it, walk the dog with them, move around. So that market has expanded. And most of that market was weirdos, bro. Okay? This is the weirdos that made the porn industry the #1 situation. Now porn and hip hop have joined forces and they share the same audience. So you can't expect to come and say something serious to get them out of party mode, dog. That's not gonna happen.
Right, right. I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's true. So it's a like a seesaw. I mean, because the people want it, so they're gonna give it. Like, because here's the thing: if everybody wanted to see crocheting 24/7, I guarantee you, we'd be like, they'd be pumping that shit down our throats like crazy. So
hey, but like you just said, listen, this is an easy equation that I've been talking from the beginning of time. Back in the days when people used to complain about the radio, when it first started getting real whack and they started playing a lot of poppy stuff, all right? It used to be like you have a mixture of everything, and then they went cold turkey on mixture and just stayed on one thing.
Right.
All right. So now, back in the time when it was one sound, hold on a second. Pardon me. Trying to take this thing out. All right. Pardon me. I lost my train of thought. I had to cut the horn down.
You said back in the time, as far as the radio, when they first started complaining about like the radio, well, when the radio switched it up from being like a bunch of different genres to this mostly commercial poppy stuff, and that's where you were kind of going with it.
All right. So, damn, I lost that train of thought. Damn,
that's it'll come back. Ain't nothing.
Yeah, man.
It's all good. So I mean, basically, my thing was, I'm looking at all sides, right? And I'm looking at like how people are willingly accepting this. We willingly want it. I mean, that's the biggest. The fuckery is the biggest shit that goes. like you said, the crate challenges, all that stuff. And then I'm looking at these outlets that I have listed here, these platforms, various platforms. You know, I mean, I'll call one out because I don't fuck with them. I mean, I don't have anything to do with them. They're not in my lane. But World Star Hip Hop, just the fact that they even have hip hop in their name, like,
Right.
makes me want to stab somebody.
All right, so I remember.
You got
it? Point was about the community radio situation.
Okay.
Community radio is built to play what the people want to hear.
Right.
So say I created a map and said, let's go to Brooklyn. Flatbush, Brooklyn, Crown Heights. We're going to put our votes in for what kind of music we want the community radio station to play. Once we get a certain amount of people that subscribe to that community radio, they now have the power to expand their range, okay? Because without people, they can't expand their range. So for all people who have had a problem with power radio playing a specific kind of genre, you can boycott that and build your own situation. You can build, because if you can go to a YouTube and build your own show, then you can go to an established brick and mortar type of situation with a radio station and say, look, the people don't want to hear such and such. Because I see it all the time. When people want talk radio here in California, there are community radio stations that do talk radio all day.
Mm-hmm.
And they block it to where you can't get rude and extra. You have to keep a neutral balance. They basically built what they wanted.
Right.
Okay? We have always had that power. But because we don't have the power to unite and have an understanding, we just keep going on with whatever is going on. Now, look how we now were saying, well, commercial shit is whack and this and this and that. Every person on these radio stations now are serving sponsors that, and they don't even get a piece of the change. Okay, you get the exposure. It's like, hey, we're going to put you in front of 3 million people. Be grateful. Show gets 5 million hits. Who gets the check? And why is the artist who's doing the interview that had the most hits not getting paid with you? Okay, so when the situation with digital, artists should have reevaluated their rights to say, when I appear on a certain show and the show goes above 5,000-10,000 hits or whatever, this is my money per whatever case may be. We breaking bread together. Now it becomes a fair system. Okay. Otherwise, you know, when all the Joe Buttons and everybody were arguing, when the big checks come down, everybody starts acting different. It starts to cause all this clash. But if you're paying the artist right, if everybody sees their splits from the beginning, create yourself a nice little smart wallet that says, yo, this money automatically goes to whatever it is, okay? Then hip hop will start being fair again, because a lot of the artists now don't even understand where their rights begin or not. So they just say, hey, I'm going to go create my own channel and I'll just deal with my own. All right. But if it was a unified situation and you control the community radio station, you don't even have to be bothered with the pop culture or the commercial phenomenon and foolishness, bro. And we were talking this years ago, before internet, okay? Because the community radio station, you can't take that from the people, bro.
Right.
But we look, some people have never even put donation toward a community radio station. You know what I'm saying? These things, yo, you have to take these things seriously. Voting in the right places. You go somewhere and put a sheet over your head and press buttons and shit for the country, but you don't do it for your children. To have a station that's wide range, people usually complain about the range of a community station. But if you're getting donations from 100,000 people, bro, they're going to expand their range because it'll be worth it. Now they're sponsoring the community-based radio, where now you can't advertise commercial situations on community radio, bro. You can't go on community radio and say, Clorox, buy this for $4.99. You can't do that. Okay? So you will be free of that and more into a unified situation, controlling the tempo of how you want to hear music and your family wants to hear music. And it's never used. But everybody got to YouTube channel and whatever channel and so on.
Key term that you used twice, unified situation. And as we've talked about that numerous times, and it just comes up because in the end, what is it? Strength in numbers, power in numbers show. If like, because you're always saying, pool your resources, get together, come together, like groups. And I see that same parallel in everything we talk about. So here, right? You can say, okay, so-and-so goes out and gets his or her own YouTube channel, but rather than doing that, like you said, the community radio says, I've seen them back in the day. They run shit when they like, it's strict about how they do it. They got their own like vibe. It's like this, and they'll tell you, okay, like they'll go from jazz to hard punk. But that's there's people that want to that fuck with it enough. That's the punk shit, and we solid with that. And so it's interesting that you just keep bringing that up, man. Unified situation as far as everybody getting together.
So you already know why it's not happening.
Well,
you already know why it's not happening.
Right.
We had this discussion last week.
Yeah.
I mean, last episode.
Yes.
People just don't trust each other enough, and it's like, yo, dog, y'all go do the same thing for someone else when you already have the power. That's why I don't get into it. I don't over sacrifice anymore, if you will. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that because I usually go the extra gun thinking like, yo, just set the beacon, and people will understand and we can just roll on the orcs, man. Nah, dog. It's gonna take a lot more detergent, bro. This is why I keep pulling my projects back. A lot of situations, bro. I end up in situations where the conversation is maybe you're overqualified for the era. Like these conversations that we have are overqualified for the era. Who wants to take the time out to see how to build away from the beast? All right. Oh. This is the conversation I'm having in boardrooms, bro.
So okay. So you're telling me the exact same thing we just said. People don't even want to hear this shit.
Nah, bro.
Like there's 11 people in here right now.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's not about numbers or anything like that. The algorithms are fucked up with the lives. But my point is, like because I've done it as like an experiment, put like crazy captions in the live shows as far as like titles, instantly that shit pops off. There's like fucking 20 people in there. What up?
Correct.
So my point is like, you're showing me they don't want it.
They want the cap.
They don't want
the cap, bro. If you said Brother Jay slaps Leo Cohen or some shit, you know what I'm saying, or Brother Jay denounces whoever, talks about Iranians or some shit, you know what I'm saying? Then you get a whole bunch of people, fuck you, guy. They're not even gonna hear what it's really about. They're just gonna come on and just put fucked up tags. They're training the Greek Colosseum savage. It's always been that. All right. That's what the entertainment situation is. Like, yo, come tell these people shut up and dribble, man, get in and out. Stop trying to educate them from a platform like this. And part of that is right. Okay. This industry wasn't meant for us to entertain people with edutainment, let's say. Okay. It wasn't built for that. It was meant for make people feel good, make them feel, get your instrument, get your
make them forget too.
Huh?
Make them forget.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Make them forget.
Yes, sir. So it wasn't made for that. So when you want to do something unique with entertainment, you have to build the whole machine over. You can't go to Disneyland and say, hey, this is the vegan side of Disneyland, nigga. They're not giving you the wing like that. Okay? They're not going to do that. You have to build your own Knott's Berry Farm or Six Flags and just hold it down as the competition. You're never going to be as big as Disney, dog. Just being 100. And that's to all of my organic thinking people.
Yeah.
Stop thinking that your lyrics and your important point of view is going to override what the devil's been giving these folks to feed the savage. Okay?
Nobody wants to hear that shit until you're dead, man. After you're dead, I mean, I'm keeping 100, man. Like all that positive shit about what, like this. Oh, that when you're dead, they'll give a fuck.
Yeah, bro, and that's a shame. And that's with all of the leaders. People didn't acknowledge Sabi when he was alive. God bless him. And then all of a sudden, when the drama happened, oh, Sabi's held up $30,000 in the Mexican jail. Oh, and then all of a sudden, a super alkaline being just died out of the blue. Okay, and that's how it happens with all of our heroes in the game. Nobody stands up. Nobody said, you know what? I'm going to just denounce all the chemicals and support Sabi for what he tried to do and buy all the medicine and do whatever. Everybody was into more of the conspiracy than buying the product that he made for us to heal. Now, dig how that goes.
Yeah,
that's
we
crazy as
looking at the icing rather than the real shit. Like it's the fluff. Windows,
hey, at this point, it's the people's fault, and this is the point where the devil goes like this, like, yo, it's not me anymore. It runs itself.
It's on autopilot right now.
It's on autopilot, homie. Where you gonna blame me? Where are you taking us? I'm not taking this anywhere. The people are telling the autopilot, turn left, turn right, dip down, twerk it, shoot it to the wall. The people are telling them this, okay? Unless y'all got some robots, typing in, lick it faster, do the, and, do it like this, and whatever they get into. You know what I'm saying? That you've seen the comments on the thing. People are just like, yo, dog, I want it simple. A guy saying he listened to Black Thought, and he said, yeah, he's dope and everything, but he makes my brain hurt. I don't think he's the best lyricist. I don't, and I say, who would you match to that? You know what I'm saying? In my mind, I'm just taking all me and everybody else that I would, naturally name out of the equation. Let's just go Black Thought. Ain't nobody dropped a better verse than what I saw on Flex's thing on that show. I've never seen nobody drop a better verse. And the dude is going to say, yo, that made my brain hurt. This is like you turning into a zombie slowly, dog, and you just don't even choose to just listen to natural rhythm. It's not like be on his dick, nigga, or nothing. It's just like, yo, dog, that was dope, period. You don't even have enough mentality just to give the nigga a medal, all right? But when he dies, God forbid, or something bad happened to him, he can't rhyme no more, then he'll be the greatest ever, okay? Cats couldn't even appreciate Common enough for him to balance acting and hip-hop. And to a point where he could just say, yo, man, fuck it, I'm just going to go act. That's where the money's at. I ain't got to go no shit. I just drop joints every once in a while. A dude like that should have a platform, dog, before a lot of fools that I hear. And it's just backwards. And I'm saying, yo, dog, what is it that the people are looking for from what this is? You can't make eggplant and shit into a steak, dog. It's never going to happen. You're not going to get organic artists to sound like what you've been getting. It's totally ignorant. There's no trap beat or anything that can get under these cats to make them sound like, yeah, 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 kick, whatever the fuck niggas be doing. Like, yo, dog, are you serious? Y'all throwing gang talk. You know what I'm saying? For people that ain't hip. So, it's something that we know in the streets. Like, yo, God, I'm not gonna get up in here and create some kind of code and be talking to cats on shit and waiting for 31 million people to try to figure it out, dog. I want to talk real sense. We're in a state of war right now, and hip hop is one of the biggest platforms in the world. So if we can shoot solutions, it's my job to take like our conversations and make them into music, bro, and then make it attractive, okay? And every artist that is a messenger, that is your job, to take intelligent conversations, intelligent forums, and then say, how would I translate that into 16 bars, 32 bars? How would I figure out a hook around that? Give the media something to talk about. People just come off raw off their head and just write an editorial. That's not attractive. There's no replay value on that. Okay? Right. I write a song, if I write a song to some corny shit like George Bush is a racist or some corny shit, that's not something somebody's going to dance to at a party. All right? That's not something somebody's going to dance to at the barbecue, dog. When you listen to Funk Lesson, that's something that people would play at a backyard barbecue. When you listen to Heed the Word, that's something that motherfuckers would play at the college jam. Okay? Yeah. Real talk. So the recipe for whatever this era is has to be improved, because cats just feel like, yo, they just giving me the mic now. I don't have to qualify. I don't have to go see the A&R and go and change up, you know, and write a song for them. I can just go bars off my head and let people shoot me up and throw fires and flames on my page and shit. And now I think I'm the shit. There's no more trying. Now, you know, the effort and the journey and putting money behind your shit gives the media a story to talk about. How can you hire PR and you don't have a story? All right. And I'm sticking to our point of the media, dog, because you got to feed the media something. All right. It's either you got a lot of drama or you have a lot of real shit to talk about. And you don't have to necessarily get shot 9 times or have lived in a tent on the street or whatever. You know, it don't have to necessarily be that. You got to find an artistic way to make it, to show people like, this is why you should give a fuck about me. And this is what, and this is why I say, yo, man, get with the movements, get with the cause. All right. If you join the Reparations League and Cobra League, then you would write about the story of reparations, the trial and failure. You know what I'm saying? You would have a base. And I'm just giving an example. I'm not trying to tell people what to do, but I'm just saying in the grace of theme. Right. Okay. You see, the BLM tried to make the little rap messengers and shit like, yo, y'all go out and do. And I'm saying, yo, dog, it don't happen like that. Right. We don't need a new thing. There are plenty of movements that have been existing with elders that'll smell the bullshit on stuff like that and separate the people from that. So when a person goes and joins the movement and says, yo, I want a cause behind my shit, I want to stand up for something and represent my rap, that's a different perspective. Now you're giving the PR a gang of shit to talk about, because now you're showing up at meetings. Yo, rapper one showed up at the court to build on reparations for a specific town or whatever, to get the lead out of pipes and that's poison in the water or whatever. Give us something. Right. Okay, it doesn't have to alter your music, because now you're going to say, yo, man, if all of the people who are with my cause are going to buy my music, knowing that I give to this cause all the time and I feed myself, then you wouldn't be cursing and carrying on. You're not going to go and say, twerk it and squirt it and my pussy is macaroni in a pot, and you represent a cause that has man, woman, and child in it. So it's a natural check. Right. All right? Right. They're not willing to get to that level of commitment. And I'm not saying there's nobody out there willing to do that, but I'm just saying the majority of people feel in their mind, hey, that's not fun. Yeah, the majority now. The majority. I mean, we're not talking about every single person in this. So we're talking about, you know, you have making some generalizations here, broad ones. So we are back. Part 2, episode 24, Constant Elevation. Black again. Big up, Ronan Ali. Blessings. Big up everybody joining in, of course. So here's a point I really wanted to get into before we ended the show was, so we talked about the stuff being promoted. So let's talk a little bit about these interviews, because Vlad gets crushed a lot for, he's making people, incriminate themselves, asking all these questions and stuff like that. Other platforms get crushed a lot for doing the same. And so I think rightfully so. I think there's been some loaded questions a few times. There's been some questions where guys didn't have their information right and things like that. But at the same time, I've always said, I've seen Vlad interviews. He's the biggest one. He's one of the biggest ones to stick out. And dudes will go in there and be like, Vlad, I'm going to tell you something I've never told anybody else. We did the juke like this. I had the hammer on me. Da-da-da-da-da. I passed it to my man. His name was like this. His fingerprints on me. I mean, like, they'll tell the whole shit. Sometimes, like, unsolicited. So, I mean, Vlad whomever might ask. And then it's like, da-da-da-da-da-da. Dudes are just singing, sharing shit, not even just about robberies and stuff, but I'm just saying super personal stuff. So, like, I'm just saying, I think there's a relationship, or I think both people, both sides have to be looked at, because you have the platform looking to get clicks. I'm seeing some 90s dudes that can spit right now that I really liked on as far as musically,
completely unraveling right now online, and they're being the memes, and the platforms, I'm told, are like just trying to get clicks. They're getting their clicks and they're getting their likes up. But
well, let me ask you a question. When these people get on that show and they treating him like a psychiatrist, is he supposed to stop them? You know what I'm saying? Because they're coming to Vlad because he has 5 million people on regularly. All right.
Of course.
That's the reason. That's the reason that they agreed to do.
That's what I'm saying. It's a double-edged sword. Because I'm just saying everyone's crushing the platforms, but these cats are sitting there. I mean, they know they know cats on whatever show to drink. They know it's gonna be rah-rah. Everybody's gonna see that shit.
Hey, I'm sure when the homie started Drink Champs, he didn't think it was gonna be to a point of being so heavily political. You know what I'm saying? Right. Look, you invite the one artist that has not had a street platform to be on, and he's like, yo, we got a billionaire in the house tonight that wants to lean back on the couch and dump his mind. The stock of your show changes instantly, and then the rules of your show change instantly. So I'm sure for, like we spoke earlier, they're media agents, and then there's people that started away, and then the people requested, yo, drink more, drink 4 bottles, bring Shaq on, bring this person on, and then people that are detached that usually don't go to an underground, because that would be an underground show, really, bro.
It was.
Okay, yes.
It was.
Okay, so now when you started getting like, yo, y'all getting 2 or 3 million people, and I can touch the streets because I'm not going back to East New York to speak to the people. So if I could talk to the people through your platform now, remember now, theme was what we were building on. If you have your theme of your business and stuff correct, then people can know, yo, I go here for people who drink and smoke like me and talk shit about the industry, and then they have their niche.
Right.
All right? It's not for everybody.
Right.
The problem is people look at that and say, well, yo, I'm going to get a glass of wine and I'm going to call my show this. So we end up doing what people did to us, creating clones. It's like we live out the beast that we hate so much. We live their shit out. We're like adopted kids to the beast, dog. Look at what we talk about, the savage, the cloning, everything, dog. We can't even let people come in their generic setup and whatnot and say, yo, this was just an underground show for cats to come on, let their hair out. This is not a psychiatrist couch. I listened to Keith Murray the other day. He's like, oh, somebody want to talk to me? Yeah, I got head from this person, this person, this person. Yo, B, nobody cares about that. We don't fuck with you for porn shit. Okay, we fuck with you for rhyming. So if you're not coming out with a song or whatever, so someone like Vlad or whoever the fuck captured him is gonna be like, yo, you want to get on here, act a buffoon, and tell me your life story? Then I have a time capsule of Keith Murray dumbing the fuck out. And if you want to see it, then come on and click on my shit and continue to let the sponsors know that I'm the place to be.
Yeah.
There's no crime on Vlad's part. If he's a media agent, culture vulture, or whatever the fuck these niggas want to call him, there's no crime on his part. You want to go up in there and say in front of 5 million people, yeah, I'm really that dude. I pulled my gun out on this fool, so when I say it in my music, y'all pick my shit up. Now, in some markets, that shit works. Because they'll say, oh, man, homie's a real one. You heard what he gone through? Oh, he was talking about cell block, whatever. I was there too.
We was in the yard together. We was in the yard together.
And that's a crowd, okay? That's a crowd in itself. There's now a jail crew that celebrates cats did their years. Okay, yo, you didn't do that. There's a crowd for that. Okay? Niggas come out and think that everybody's going to listen to their shit. No, dog. You got to find where your audience is, and whatever has been created right now, this whole monster gumbo pot of bullshit, you got to find out where the veggies are, or or whatever your taste is or your theme is. You got to find out where that audience is, and that takes money, dog. It ain't free.
You are the first artist that I've talked to about this topic with that has not simply sat there and what Master said to say this, that has put some accountability on the person sitting in that chair running their mouth. Like, nobody's putting a gun to these heads. They're getting picked up. They're getting paid to do a lot of these interviews. No one's putting a gun to their head to spill all their life story and wild out. And then everyone's like, oh, why is so-and-so making them look like that? They made it look like that themselves to me. I never understood that, man. Like,
hey, bro, they got to realize
you don't
this.
have to answer the question.
Certain levels of genius in music or high talent, there's a little bit of crazy in you. All right. So I know media outlets like the Vlads and the Drink Champs and stuff like that, you know, the people who are behind the curtain, they can't have emotions. Fuck your feelings. It got to be like, yo, get the most dirt that you can out of this because they're paying for dirt.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to bring these niggas jewels and diamonds. Niggas saying, no, man, give me mud. Give me slop, dog. And you what you gonna say? Don't give me a $10 million bonus? What is Joe Budden gonna keep arguing with two co-hosts all his life and shit, having homeboy in the living room meetings, or is he gonna step up and take that 20 million and kick back and have some of the best people on his shit? You know what? You know, really, let's be human here. You get into it to be successful, and then you bump into it and be like, yo, I get to evolve my shit and do whatever. And then now they're in the tunnel of success in a different way because, yo, that's hard to get, bro. That's better than a NBA deal amongst all the millions of people that have all these little tubes and shit. Your shit stands out and gathers hundreds of thousands of people per day. Okay? That's power. Social power is valuable to businesses because you're now doing what the TV station can't do. They got to have Mom's Apple Pie on TV. Okay? On the internet, you can be raw as fuck.
That's what
people want that raw.
Yeah.
Okay? People got tired of the sweet science of boxing and say, I want to see a motherfucker put a knee a motherfucker's jaw down and be shaking on the ground and shit after he gets a knockout punch and shit, nigga, or a leg lock or arm almost broken, nigga. We get more savage, dog. That was a private tournament back in the days. The Kumite was a private thing. And now it's a forefront fucking sport, bro. You used to have to pay $1,000 a head to get in some shit like that. You feel me? Niggas used to see a little bit of them Van Damme movies where niggas was standing around in ties and shit and watching niggas fight and shit. You know what I'm saying? Paying $5,000 to see niggas get knocked out like that and shit.
Yeah,
and
they were private. They were just like hip hop. They were private underground events.
Bang.
They were grassroots, organic, and the cats that ate, you know, within that cipher. But they were underground events.
Hey, so what are the promoters supposed to do? I'm gonna keep opening my doors for the fickle underground science of, you know, if they'll show up or not, or am I gonna sell out to Live Nation, who's gonna give me $2 million to bring some underground heads in front of Kanye and Badu or whoever comes through, smaller venues? Because look, bigger artists like smaller venues, man. It's a lot less headache, easier to set up, easier to get in and out, and it makes you feel like, yo, man, back where I started.
Right.
All right. So you imagine how many promoters would sell their shirt after COVID, especially, and losing to a fact. You couldn't even bring 100 people in the building. Okay. And now somebody says, well, look, come and get what I'll pass. So no more chitlin circuits for artists to be developing on. Now it's like, no, this is owned by the big man now. They bring us Ice Cube where we couldn't afford them before. They bring us this person because we couldn't afford them. Now you got a partner and you getting the check consistently versus, I don't feel like going out tonight. Who's performing? Brother J, Planet Asia, you know, Medusa, you know, one of the underground cats from the East or something, you know, artists that are not in the top tier, your Beyoncé's, your Rihanna's, and this and that and all of that other shit. And now they've created a new underground. They control your chitlin circuit. So I'm telling people, look, you have the power to turn that. If the people control all community networks in a region, we decide who we want to perform. We decide where we want them to perform. Because the people that are consistently putting the money into the community station machine are the same ones who are going to buy tickets when an event comes. Okay? When we used to do shows back in the day, Black Watch would already fill up half of the capacity of the event. And then you got hip hoppers coming. So you got people who didn't even fool with hip hop, elders that wanted to be around the youthful energy, but not with somebody got shot or somebody got decapitated in front of a club. I've seen that happen before. You know, crazy shit with hip hop, dog. Because it's where all the energy and all the shit is, and everybody want to flash. What do you put your car together unless you want to be in a couple hundred people trying to get a shorty, dog? That's what it's about. Hip hop is an ego business, okay? So we can't forget that how it was molded. You can't come out and say my lyrics are going to change everything. That's not how I came out. I said, look, I know my crowd. When I show up in Milwaukee, when I show up in Ohio, I know every Black nationalist in that town is coming to this show because we never had this kind of energy around our get down. Okay? And there became a time where we can depend on that. But as we got more and more higher on the level of the label, things start to change. You can't prioritize those type of things anymore because now our responsibility is we got to keep these big contracts. We got to keep writing hits now. And this is where people start to think like, oh, y'all selling out or this and that. We never had that problem because we always stayed to our grain. But for artists who do get those opportunities and have to go and say, look, man, it's not about you rapping no more. We need 7 strong songs on this album to rotate for the next year, dog. We got something happening with Janet Jackson. We got you one with this dude. And this dude made me like, no, man, I'm not that kind of pop dude. Remember the crossover law back in the days? You know, cats wasn't rhyming between R&B. We was trying to stand up for saying our bars are strong enough to make the song. Why we got to do it like that? We wasn't trying. Look, bro, we picked the break beats and cut the singing from the record and chose the sweet spot of the beat. Why you gonna tell me to invite the singer back like that? And not that it doesn't sound good, but damn, look what the law was. Like, we are writing too.
Right.
So respect us just like you respect Luther and so on. God bless them. So they took it from us and said, look, y'all niggas figure it out. Hip hop, R&B, that's what it is. So y'all get along. Who's gonna get the check? Now you got R. Kelly's what he was doing the song in the closet. You rhyming, but you keeping some kind of operatic shit going on. And you got 4 series and shit. You totally changing the game. You showing singers like, yo, just let the rap side out a little bit more. Do it like 70-30. And you can get the rap niggas too. All right, so now media eats that. Now they got more to talk about because now all the hip hop niggas and R&B niggas are now in bed with each other. It's been nothing but drama since, dog. Okay, it's been nothing but drama because now the hip hop dudes are now fucking with the R&B singers and this and that, and they're fighting and all. And look at all the shows, Love and Hip Hop, all this other shit, bro. And look at how much shit came of it.
Fuckery was what came of it. Yeah, complete smart. Correct. Man threw up the vomit emoji straight up, man. Because that's fuckery.
It's real talk. But it's what happened in our face. Huh? I'm sorry to cut you. I was just saying it just happened all in our face like this, and it's been we're so normalized to it, we've become numb. Okay, but in the backside of it, in the hindsight of it, look, we can control regions just through community radio. Period, and it don't take shit. Go get 30 people to say, yo, man, we putting up a petition to say we want to run LA community radio, North Bay, wherever the hell you at. Start picking regions and get hundreds of people to say, yo, man, I'm tired. We want to elect a DJ. Remember I was telling you about electing the DJs and the program directors? This is where that would come in. We want to put this person in place here, and all of our money is behind that. If this community station will want $100 from the 300 people that we have on here, and we're going to keep increasing, We want this DJ in power doing A, B, and C. Make a deal with us. And there's no deal to make because it's what the community is saying, bro. It's being done right now. I'm not breaking the wheel in this conversation, bro.
Right. And this is why I appreciate our builds, man, because we, you know, the goal in the end is not just to bitch and complain about a situation or I mean, there's enough people doing that and we can bitch for at least part of it, but at least try to come out of it with some solutions. And you've gone back to this a few times, man, as far as like, this is a tangible thing that can happen right like tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
like,
bro. Tomorrow. It's a matter of agreeing.
You can go to like because I've seen it done. Like there's one out in Staten Island. Like you can go there and like talk to the program director and push to get like if you got enough, you know, people, you can push to get a slot and say okay. And it can be completely different in the next slot. They're not their station. It's not the station. It's about the community, and so the shows are reflective of the community. If you're in like a multicultural spot, you might have like 4, 5, 6 different types of shows on that same radio station. So
right, bro. All the first hip hop heroes of radio, some of them were doing their shows on AM radio because it was cheaper.
Oh yeah.
We have to start going back into the mentality. It's like, okay, if FM's gonna give me a problem, yo, I need everybody to tune into the AM and make it happen. And where it's not gonna happen, bro, the word unity. Agreeable energy is just not something that we master, my lord. It's just straight up and down. We don't master that. We don't trust each other. We trust the enemy's brand on everything. If we don't see them and get their stamp of approval, we don't move forward. That's just how we're programmed, dog.
And that's a sad fact. It is. It's a straight up fact. It needs to change, but it's a fact, and that's the unfortunate. Yeah, that's a fact, though.
Real shit, bro. I think when we grow up in that place and then teach the next generation to grow up in that place, then we'll start to have some kind of generational intelligence and rebellion against this foolishness for real. Because just talking about it and complaining, it does nothing. You're like barking fools. Okay?
Yep.
And they keep throwing the meat to you. Shut up and eat this. Shut up and eat this. Eat the macaroni. Eat the shit. They keep throwing it at you. Come on, man. They done made that girl a hero, Megan Thee Stallion. Even sisters that were complaining about her raunchiness in her lyrics now consider her a hero. And I'm saying, when did that happen? Because of her altercation with a dude and he was trying to say shut up broad and put the shit on the ground. He trying to play Ike Turner and shit and fucked up. And now her getting through that makes her a fucking hero, dog. What kind of audience are y'all getting that information from? That she is the inspiration for all black women and black girls and so on, dog, because of some trophies that no one cares about. We don't even watch those shows.
Listen, I remember when maybe I think it was 2 or 3 years ago. I mean, so I remember when Time magazine used to be a reputable magazine. Articles were actually intelligent back in the day, 70s, 80s. Cardi B was named Woman of the Year like a couple years ago. Like, so I mean, that just tells you. I mean, Caitlyn Jenner was named Person of the Year or whatever a couple years ago too. So it just let you know.
Yeah,
that's
because of
that's where we are.
And on the topic of media, you hire the right PR, and you see a chair that no one cares about. Okay, Woman of the Year. Oh shit, no one wants to qualify for that. Hey, let's put her in this and start some shit. Look how much controversy comes from that when they did that, bro. That particular slot never got that much attention ever. Okay, no one can name who the Woman of the Year was 10 years ago, bro. So nobody cares about that slot.
I know.
Come on, bro.
That's it.
Nobody cares. So what does the PR do? They go do their homework and say, oh shit, look at that dusty chair over there. No one's fucking with that. What if we put her there and insulted everyone and said, this girl is the Woman of the Year beyond everything that y'all fuck with? intelligent, beautiful women all over the globe, and you choose Cardi B based on what?
Right.
Is it record sales? Is she cute to you? You like the way her body shape? What is it that you're choosing to say what we're celebrating? Her evolution from strip club to success? Like, what are we talking about here?
I don't know, man.
So no one questions that, and it continues to happen. So after they let that slide and say, you saw what Cardi did, now let's put Megan in here. Or let's put another person. Let's put a transsexual in here. And when did a woman get insulted to say, yo, man, y'all going too far. We're not buying none of this shit until y'all put Lauren back in power. You know what I'm saying? Put Lauren back in power, dog. You know, put her up or find another one. You go find Macklemore trying to be fake M&Ms and all kind of yellow wolves and all kind of shit. You find something to replace the elements of what y'all got to be successful. But we can't never get a replacement of the good shit from our world. Y'all give us some other shit. Y'all couldn't even get the country boy to stay in his zone. Now he's some kind of Euro fag or something. Nas X.
Oh yeah.
Comes out dressing like Woody from Toy Story, and now you're the sexual devil tonguing niggas down on BET and all kind of stupid shit. And we're supposed to worship that, and we're supposed to believe the numbers that are happening from his tread, like that's increasing. But you just have my school children dancing to them in schools across the country, and if they want to keep up with their new favorite artists, what is that going to make them and persuade their impressionable minds to believe, like, oh snap, it's cool for me to kiss Jimmy, it's cool for whatever. Then the PRs go to work. So you know our conversation is leading to the positions of media, PRs, journalists, them coming clean now and saying, I'm not writing about the foolishness. I'm not taking the check. Okay? Someone's going to hand you a check and say, hey, write something good about my boy. I know you don't fuck with such and such. You don't have to do a puffy and say it was spectacular. You're bold. You don't have to write an article like that, but just be nice. Here's a check. We need people who resist those checks, bro. Because that's agenda. You're not allowing me to like the artist and say, yeah, he's a little weird, but I like his music. You're not even allowing me that. You're forcing him down my throat. So these are the agent media that we're speaking about. People that you can pay to go ahead and do what you do best. There's a million of those. And then you're going to have honest ones, honest people who are in those positions having to go into those realms because nobody's reading anymore. So even when you're writing an article on these artists, nobody's getting in depth to your shit. And thus the overqualification like we spoke earlier. Brother Jay, why are you writing all of this extra and this and that? Sounds good and everything, but people don't even think. You can write 8 bars now. You don't even have to write 16. Just write a cool hook and get on some of them dope beats and just give them whatever. And I'm saying that's not how my artistry flows. You gonna tell me how to write? Right now, even back in the day, the A&R doesn't tell you how to write, dog. If the song don't sound good, they say, yo, man, give me another one. But now cats are telling you how to adjust your bars and what's too heavy and all this other shit. Yo, man, y'all overassume yourselves too much, dog. That's like me telling the opera dude, like, yo, man, you hit that note too high, and I've never done opera like that. You pay him to go perform, and that's it, and back the fuck up.
Right.
Media is too much in people's business, my lord.
Yeah, and that, I mean, agenda. I mean, it's so much money. Like, you know, I mean, just the fact that, like, if you turn on Fox versus, you know, the other ones, I mean, they're so different. Like, how are you getting the same? There's so much money. Yeah, media's they're all up in your shit, and that's a great point you just made there, though. I mean, as far as that whole,
we have to attack the positions, bro.
Yeah.
Every episode
but
that we've had,
though, it comes back to what we say. So for somebody, I've turned down things before that would be more lucrative. I get people trying to promo shit, trap shit, crazy shit. I'm like, nah, man. You know what I'm saying? We do promo, but people don't even know because it's only the stuff that we fuck with. Right. So I've taken it. I've turned down jobs because they didn't fit with my value system. But like, so that, and not where I would like to be financially because of it, but I'm okay with that. But like, so that takes a lot of people aren't okay with that though. You know what I mean?
Like, but I'm saying, like, I'll ask you this question, bro. Someone comes to you tomorrow, $50,000 check.
Yeah.
I want you to play some trap shit, put a flower hat on, and a little bit of mascara.
Right.
What are you going to tell them?
Yeah, I'd like to tell them, I'd say, go fuck yourself. I can't do that. But you know what I'm saying? But
we need you. We need 20 of you.
Right.
In positions like you're running Hot 97 or some shit. We need you in those positions. That's the shit that I'm talking about. Okay? So when somebody calls you and says, yo, man, I know that rent is due. It's cold out here. Work ain't popping. I know you're tired of being on Instagram talking shit with that black fuck. Take this $50,000 check, and I'll send you one every week to promote these agendas. And I need you to put this mascara on and this fucking Mary Poppins hat when you do it. Promote it as a new fashion. And I'll get you an extra check for that, too. So you could come away with a good 80 grand a week right now, dog. And you still gonna tell them, fuck you, fuck yourself. 80 grand a week.
Be able to do it. Be able to do it.
We need 20 of you in the higher positions, and that's what the people will be doing. And if they don't hire you, then you say, hey, we're going to take our shit away from the power stations, give it to the community radio station where he will have a slot. Why? Because we're going to pay for his time there to talk the shit that we want to hear and to play the music that we deserve to fuck with. That's how easy that could be.
And so that means that we all have to trust each other enough to unify, to take over shit like how everybody else takes over their little shit. We don't trust each other. That is the motherfucking end of the game right there, though, man.
That's
because
correct.
We've talked for an hour and some change. We've had similar messages in all the past 23 bills. We have a lot of similar views on a lot of these things. And we come back to the same thing almost at the end of every single conversation because we're solution-based and it's like, let's unify, let's get together, pool your resources. And I feel good. It makes me feel warm and fuzzy because I like working in teams. Because when I've worked in teams, I've done some amazing shit.
Right.
Like some amazing stuff has come out because ideas are just popping off everywhere. Shit's bubbling, right?
Right.
But we can't do that, though.
Nah, man, because everybody is an everything person. You know, everybody can do everything. They know it all. So no one's going to say, yo, I'm just going to do my part. Yo, I'm just going to do my part. How you play ball and everybody's a point guard. How you play ball, everybody's a center. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to say, I'm the shooter. I'm
have somebody set in the pick.
Correct.
Somebody got to roll.
Correct. Somebody got to come off the bench. Everybody can't be on the starting five. What are you going to say? The whole team is going to argue, and then all 13 niggas are going to run on the court? Come on, man. It has to be a thing of set the blueprint. Who's the best in our squad out of the 20 people that we have? We need a starting five. Somebody who does radio, somebody who does film, somebody who does break down all of the shit, and then you're the bench players. When this person doesn't perform to the fullest, or when they're on a task and we need that position filled, we're pulling off our bench. The argument of choosing the team is what will last longer. You won't even get to the product, bro. Everyone will be fighting in the boardroom as far as who does what and talking behind each other's back, and the work will never get done. I guarantee it.
Sad facts. Facts. No lies there, man. There's no exaggeration there. That's just fact, yo. And I say it all the time, but I mean, that's what it is. That's why Vlads and all of these cats just
keep the mic on and let these people just talk their shit. Because even if his platform and agenda was different, when those cats started giving their whole life story in the conversation, it's like being at the bar having a drink with a nigga. He's telling you everything. My dog got cancer, my this and that, and I was born in a manger, and all kind of crazy shit. And niggas just keep talking and shit. These niggas are like, yeah, man, I'll chop it up into different shit and build up millions of shit. You want to hear crazy niggas from the hood talking their backstories and shit? Come on over to Homeboy. That's crazy as fuck. fuck, dog. That's crazy as fuck to me. I would never think that a white dude, no matter where he's from, if he's federal, whatever case may be, will own all of the hood stories. All of them.
Makes no sense.
just sitting there. It's not even like he advertised like Vlad, hood stories. He just was like, yo, this is my podcast. And people just sort of professional set up and say, yo, this looks big.
I mean,
you get a lot of numbers.
I mean, this is where people have come at me. I mean, so Vlad started out as a DJ. He was like, I think he was somewhere in New York, DC somewhere. He was like DJing hip hop in the mid '80s and stuff like that. He was right. DJ Vlad. That's what he was at first, and I point in a manger. But he was DJ Vlad. So like he had some relationships, but like cats get on there, yo. I'm like, yo, niggas giving him 2-3 hour interviews of just like everything.
Yeah, but everything. All right. I'm glad you made that point. I'm glad you made that point because they left the DJ out of the equation in hip hop. You got certain people who hate the game the way it was because they got shit on, and they'll take positions in this new, behind the curtain type of shit that we're talking about right here to say, yo, man, I love to do that because they replaced me with the instant replay machine. They replaced me with the CDJ being played by an amateur instead of having DJ Vlad on the forefront. So these niggas become show hosts. Right. This kind of shit. Come on, Wendy Williams, dog, was a fucking radio DJ. Okay? So now you took the gossip part or whatever the fuck that people feed off. It might have been 10 minutes, 15 minutes or whatever of gossip, and now you've made it a platform like stupid. Yeah. Why? Because they shit on the DJ, dog.
Yeah.
They shit on the DJ. This is the people's fault, dog. You got to go back, do your history, held yourself accountable, and then say, how can I fix it? Don't go back and say, my bad. That ain't doing shit, dog. Okay? You got to say, how can I fix this? How can I make sure that the women in hip-hop get their respect? And when they look back in the time capsule and see, oh, shit, Cardi B was #1 in 2020 and 2021. Like there was no other artist in existence. How can you build something that will get real artists? Not everybody deserves the pat on the back, dog. How can you get it to where the history really makes sense to say these were the top 10 for real, a trusted source?
Right.
Okay, if you're good enough to buy it, you're good enough to build the council that'll give you the right shit.
Right.
Those are the trust factors that are missing.
Exactly. And so here's the thing. We don't collectively, there's not a trust thing, but there's people out there. So I'm like, as I'm hearing you, I'm like, okay, I just got to fuck with ALI that I can trust. And we're on that same shit. And then, so it's unfortunately, it's a slower process because it's not like you can just go out and grab 50 people and be like, yo, let's rock and do this, because it's going to be 50 different things. But like, you got to pick and choose and be like, oh yeah, find the people that like understand what we're talking about, man.
You got to have a platform. If you rented out a building, bro, and put a brand on the top of the thing and said, this is the FM, carrying the culture FM, you know what's going to happen? People are going to believe. Why? Because you put money out. Okay? If you're sitting in your house in your drawers and you're saying, yo, this is the shit and we're starting the movement from here, niggas are not going to believe you.
Of course.
That's the way shit is programmed.
Yeah.
So if people are serious, then the 20 people that you gather, we're going to rent this building out. We're not going to buy it. We're all going to put in $200 a month and make sure that we have the right equipment inside. Everybody pull all the equipment, studios out of their house, and this is now our FM. And we're gonna practice what the people want to hear. Once we have enough following, now we can pull the community stations in and say, yo, we got 100,000 niggas that fuck with us every fucking day. Syndicate us. Power stations, syndicate us. Fuck if you like us or not. I got 100,000 people.
Right.
You can't front on me. No one's gonna front on you when you got 100,000 people, bro.
Thanks.
No one, family. Okay? When you're moving around with that roster that's active, the calls come to you. There's no calls going out, dog.
Yeah.
1,000, man.
No, that's just facts. There's levels to everything.
Indeed.
So
Patience,
absolutely.
patience for the process. The shit
Yeah.
that you said, the slow process is where people get turned off. Because everything gotta be fast. Everything gotta be fast. Everybody's being programmed like a machine now. There's no taking time. So the slow process
But
does
the
not
important thing
occur.
about this, I'm enjoying the process being slow. Like I don't give a fuck now. I've changed my view on how I look at stuff now. I could die tomorrow. Like I'm like I just know that like I'm enjoying getting kicked around a little bit. I'm enjoying it being a little bit harder. Fuck it, because everything that's coming to me, because with my projects and stuff, it's completely organic. I don't pay for shit as far as like views and likes and all that stuff like that. Any stuff that's been going on. So it's like for me, I'm enjoying it a little bit that it's a struggle. I complain and bitch a little bit, but I'm like, yo, this is all my blood, sweat, and tears. So for me, it's actually been a little bit enjoyable. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
because you're a man and you understand challenge. If it was too easy, it would bore you. So you understand.
Yeah.
You understand challenge. You know what I'm saying? That's a man thing. These are boys and young heads that barely have had their ass whooped in their life before. There's a lot of spoiled ass kids in the game right now, dog. And then now trust babies are spilling over into the game now. So you really know they haven't had their ass whooped.
Right.
All right. The most challenges they have is which way should I spend the bread in the game?
Right.
And what color do I want my hair to be tomorrow? Bullshit.
Right. We gotta get ready to get on out of here. I got another show at 10 o'clock. We're going live with our People Say the Hip Hop Culture called the After Party. We discuss the elements of hip hop there with our People Say the Hip Hop Culture. It's always a good build. So thank you, man. This has been episode 24, Constant Elevation. All of our builds are on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And they're all good. And they're all dope. And they're all like this. And we hope that, we want to thank everybody for rocking with us, man. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost. So.
Indeed, man. Salute to everybody tuning in, man. Give thanks, man. I appreciate y'all time.
Because I always say, right, like, you could be somewhere else right now. There's people that were on the earlier show that, like, you could be somewhere else doing some other shit, and you're choosing to, you know what I'm saying, try to hear some of this, and so we appreciate you fucking with us. I said 2 years, 24 episodes. We've only missed 1 month due to a fire, so I think we're okay with that.
Word, right?
Can't do everything. Can't be perfect. So we got a pretty good record here. So they're all on the YouTube channel, and if share, man. If you like what you hear and like what's going on, that's the best way to let other people know. Like, look, we do this once a month for every first Wednesday. Every first Wednesday, very consistent with it. So, thanks, man. Again,
give the family my regards, man, and safe travels, my lord. I'll build with you shortly, man.
Yeah, absolutely. We got some things to talk about in the new year. I just got back. I'm just trying to get my life together, but yeah, let's definitely talk, and hopefully everybody has a good start to their new year, man. Like, be better than we were yesterday. You know, it's just. It's it. Just a little bit better. It goes a long way. So
yeah, it's a process.
Just a process. So and enjoy it.
Yeah, man.
So salute, man. We'll talk soon. So we go live 10 o'clock. Save the hip hop culture after party. All right, y'all. Be good.
Peace, God.
Be good.